You are watching the Staten Soccer Report. And don't forget, Monday Live.
Ho dedicato la mia vita ai momenti più felici, ad inseguire un sogno, il mio sogno. Quante volte mi hai deluso, non importa, io ci credo e vivo il mio sogno. Bari, grande amore, Bari, unica e sola, Bari nel nostro cuore, non ti lasceremo
Stay on Staten Island.
da sola.
All right, welcome to a brand new edition of the Staten Island Soccer Report, coming to you from CTV tonight. Facebook Live only on the Staten Island Soccer Report page. Alongside me, Vito, as always. Vito, it's nice to see you again. And like I've said from day one, the best guy to speak about Serie B, body, Serie C too today. We're gonna go into everything. We got a lot going on.
For sure.
I want to thank Kenny and Brian LaPure behind the glass tonight. Again, without them, we don't do a show.
Sure.
So thank you to those guys. And all right, let's get right in.
Sure.
On the youth side, we'll start off with the youth. What we know right now at Owl Hollow, well, actually, probably it ended already, but this week they got tryouts going on for all different age groups. So if you're looking for a travel soccer team, go down to Owl Hollow and try out. It's going on the whole week. All right, I know all different. Go onto their website, Staten Island Soccer Club website, and check out the dates and age groups going on. As far as the strikers of the Staten Island Soccer Club, U15 girls, Vito, I was on the hot seat this weekend. I had some guys calling in and texting me to fire the coach if you don't win. But you know what? We had 2 games. We went 1-1.
Okay.
So I guess my job is safe for now, because we won yesterday. And let's start with the Saturday game. We played in Hazlet, New Jersey. We ended up, just not much real. The game was 2-0 for them.
Mm-hmm.
We came back and we played tough. We played the last 15 minutes. Again, we didn't have a good start to the game. You know how that goes. Even at the professional level, you don't start well. The other team scores another goal, then you're chasing the whole game, right? So that's what happened. We were chasing. So anyhow, we take some positives out of a loss. And the last 15, 20 minutes we really played like we were an angry bunch. The girls were really upset and stuff. So fast forward to Sunday, which was yesterday. We go out to Beechwood. It's about an hour drive from here.
Okay.
And we took care of business, and we ended up winning yesterday 1-0. So, completely different feeling yesterday than Saturday for the girls. I'm happy for them. They won. They won the game. This weekend coming up, we're going to need Staten Island support. I put it on the page this morning. I don't know if you saw it. But we're playing in the Mosa Cup. It's equivalent to the the Champions League, right?
Okay.
We're in the semifinals for that.
All right.
So we get through on Saturday. We're playing against Old Bridge at Old Bridge.
Oh, wow.
At their
Always in Jersey.
at their place. And again, if we get through, we're in the finals for the cup.
Okay.
And hopefully for the girl. Again, it's all for them. It's again, it was a great feeling for them yesterday. Coming off the field. Okay. Winning 1-0, clean sheet, not giving up a goal.
Okay.
All right, and just keep pushing forward with this team. We've got tryouts this week. Hopefully, we can add a player or two to get better for the fall. And that's it. I guess that's all I have to say as far as as my team goes. And keep pushing and trying to get better.
That's all you can do.
Yeah. So let's move it on now. Again, tryouts this week. Owl Hollow. If you're looking for a travel soccer team, Staten Island Soccer Club. What do we got here? Vito, what do you got?
There's a lot of talk about basically.
Well, the team that you're wearing right there.
Okay.
And then let's start with them, and then we'll go work our way.
Well, now we're actually winning games. So
Yeah.
Body, with these 2 straight wins, and especially with the big win against Perugia. I mean, John Andrada, who officially starts a game, puts a goal in. That was really good.
Yeah.
They have to finish strong these last 2 games because it'll make up for all the ties that they had during the year.
Right.
I tell you, I like their chances against Parma. Parma lost early in the week.
Okay. Yeah.
So I like their chances with on the road. It doesn't matter. I think Bari could beat them. They got Parma and then they got Carpi. That's how they'll finish the season, regular season.
So let's go. And I see Joseph is on. Joseph, you could tell your dad to call in at any time. This way we can, because we got another caller calling in. We got scheduled phone calls here. The phone line is hot again, like it was last week, and I hear it ringing already. Let's go to City B. You got the standings for them? Oh, here it is. Yeah,
City B.
So we got Body sitting in number 6 right now, in the 6th spot, right? And with 64 points, 2 games to go, which is 6 points. So yeah, I mean they could go as far as up as third place.
They're very close to Parma. So if they beat them, they'll surpass Parma.
All right, Vito. Looks like we got a caller on the line. Caller, you're on the Staten Island Soccer Report. Nothing yet, but we'll continue.
And congratulations to Lecce. They're officially back in B.
Yes.
Okay, talking about Verona?
Oh, okay, Vincenzo, you're live.
Hey.
Yes.
Alive.
Yes, Vincenzo, how are you?
Okay.
We got Vito here tonight in the studio.
Johnny, what is your countdown for the show? Because you're at 95 before.
Oh, today is show number 97, Vincenzo.
Hey, 97.
Would you imagine that? 97 shows, Vincenzo.
Wow.
I don't think I've ever dreamed of doing 97 shows. I really, when I started, never thought about it.
Well, Johnny, remember, slowly, you get your direction, your destination.
And we started 6 years ago with Frank Tricomi. 6 years ago we started. So, yeah, we're getting close to the 100.
Anything is possible as long as you put your mind to it. You could even write a book, John.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm sure it'll be a bestseller. I'm sure Vincenzo and me will be the first ones to buy it.
Yeah, I don't know if
Listen, if
anybody would.
it's a book, I buy. If it's a Facebook, you buy.
I don't think anybody wants to read my story. It might be too boring. So,
No, you had the story of a goalkeeper, or the referee, or the coach.
Yeah, I would probably, if it's going to be about sports, about goalkeeper, because that was my passion. I loved it. And in my mind, I still think I could play. Only in my mind.
Well, Johnny, at the over 30, over 40 tournament, you were elected 1 year the best goalie of the tournament.
Yeah, I remember those days. Those were the good days, Vincenzo. They really were. We used to play in Lafayette High School. And
wow. I remember playing in Lafayette with a family just kicking the ball around.
All winter we played in Lafayette. Thanks to Vincenzo for organizing it, all right?
Okay.
And then we went in the springtime, went to the Ravezzano complex, and we played on Sunday mornings. I mean, I tell you, you couldn't ask for any. It was the best thing, really. It really was. It was great. A lot of guys from the neighborhood, a bunch of people were all from the neighborhood. It was great. It was great. It really was.
So Johnny, you have the best goalie, the referee. I saw you ref some of the finals with the Piao kids.
Yes.
And whenever Johnny is there, everything is under control.
I just, again, Vincenzo, I love the game, and I give, it's from the heart. It's not fake. It's not something that somebody forced me to do. Been doing it my whole life. I love it, and now we're talking about it.
Yeah.
I can't play no more, so we talk about it.
That's all.
So
much to talk about.
And we'll do this, Vincenzo, until I can't do it no more.
Well, Johnny, I don't know if you know, Juventus, they did win a Scudetto.
Practically, yeah.
So it's official?
It's official. Unless
Unless Napoli wins the last 2 and Juventus doesn't.
Yeah.
And they go to a
Juventus
tiebreak.
loses the last two
Two.
games.
Right.
Napoli
Wins.
must win
The last two.
Yeah.
2 games, 8-0, 8-0.
Right. Yeah. The goal differential. Yeah.
Seems pretty tough.
But there are so much money involved, especially those two teams where Juventus beat Napoli at Napoli 1-0. Napoli beat Juventus at Torino 1-0.
Yeah.
You should make an extra game in case, tied for points.
Yeah, that's. Well, we'll see.
Or if there is a goal difference between the two games, like you do on the UEFA Cup, home and away. You go away goal down 2. This way, you could decide the winner. But to be decided to win by difference on goals, I cannot see you beat a team like Chievo, Verona, something,
Exactly.
7-0, and you win Chievo, Verona 1-0. Because you play against Mickey Mouse team. I would say, I'm surprised that this organized the Serie A division. They should do something in case of a tying point and home and away game. At least the decisive point would be the home and away goal.
Yeah.
After that, it's still the same.
Yeah.
Play one game.
Yeah. That's what they do here in baseball. If there's a tie at the end of the season, they play a game, and the winner goes to the playoffs.
They must have changed the rule because back then there was a game back in the 80s between Napoli and Milan to decide. So
Right now, Juventus is plus 61, Napoli's plus 45. So
That's what I'm saying. They have to win.
yeah,
Juventus got to even if Juventus lose 1-0,
Yeah, of
1-0.
yeah,
Napoli's got to win.
Exactly.
Not 2-0 or 3-0. It's got to win like 6-0,
Yeah.
8-0.
well, Juventus has got one extra game, the Coppa Italia.
yeah.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Wednesday is
they
the
play
big one.
No, I think the Scudetto is
Yeah.
closed the book.
No, you're right.
Now
Yeah.
it's Coppa Italia, and after that, tutto in vacanza.
Yeah, that's it.
The Rise got the rights to the Coppa Italia until 2021, so they beat out the competition from Mediaset for that. And they're saying that Carlo Ancelotti is going to be wearing a Milan jersey on the final of the Coppa Italia. He's going to be watching the game with a friend. So even though he coached Juventus and Milan, he's more of a Milan person because he played for Milan.
Yeah.
He was the coach of Costa Corta, who's going to name the next coach of Italy. So.
Yeah.
It looks like Mancini most likely.
Well, that's what they're saying, but I was reading an article today that nothing is an agreement. There is no agreement between Costa Corta and Mancini. No agreement has been reached. So they're still waiting for the seasons to be over with the leagues. But you got the only person in Carlo Ancelotti who he's not coaching. You have Mancini who's coaching. You have Claudio Ranieri who's coaching. A lot of the candidates are coaching. So to be honest, it would be nice to see if what they're saying is not true. You get different reactions from the news. One day you hear that Carlo Ancelotti is the next coach. One day you hear something else. I mean, Carlo Ancelotti said in the past that he did want to coach Italy.
Right.
I do have articles on that. Let me see if I can pull them up. But he definitely did want to coach. The dream of Carlo Ancelotti, he confessed during the appearance before nearly 300 students at a European university in Madrid that if anything Carlo Ancelotti wants to do professionally after taking over is to coach the Italian national team. He acknowledged that, and where he said his dream is not only leading the Azzurri, Carlo Ancelotti, in the World Cup, but also to get the World Championship. And he said, no, I never forget the dream of leading the Italian team. Hopefully in the future it can meet because I like to win a World Cup with Italy. He said, ambitious coach of... when he was this is when he was coaching in Spain. For now, Ancelotti is happy where he was. So, and then there was also another good article that I pulled up that Ancelotti, if he is indeed the new coach, that his staff would be his son, Davide Ancelotti, who was the assistant at Bayern Munich. Andrea Pirlo, Paolo Maldini, and Buffon. That's another rumor that this was another interesting article that was pretty good about.
All right. Well, listen.
You know.
Speaking about Buffon, you mentioned him. Is he done playing, Vincenzo?
Well, most likely this will be his last year.
Okay. And
Most likely,
Tony's
because,
asking why do you
the
think
message he's
Juventus-
sending.
Oh, that's my
he doesn't
uncle.
wanna-
Yeah.
Why do you think Juventus can't win the Champions League? Good question.
Well, they don't have the right players, to match up against, the Barcelonas and the Real Madrids.
Yeah, unfortunately.
That's what it is.
And you know what? What hurt them a little bit was the video replay. Maybe if they had the VAR, it could have made a difference.
No. Let's not. I mean, from my opinion, no. Let's not blame. Listen, the referee calls the game. Vincenzo, do you agree?
Well,
The call is the call, and you got to live with it.
Yeah, but now I think they got to eventually expand it. They're going to bring the World Cup. You got to bring it everywhere.
That's fine. No,
Yeah.
no. They don't have to. See,
Yeah.
the Champions League.
No, they don't
want
have to,
it.
but they should. Eventually, they should.
But you still got to live with the call of the referee, regardless if it's right or wrong. That's it. It's part of the game.
The referee, sometimes he will make 99% the right call,
Right.
and then he makes one
Right.
little mistake, and that mistake, the team scores the winning goal. People are going to remember that, not the 99% the perfect goal.
So listen, let's go back to that game with Juventus.
Yeah,
right? Let's go back to
unfortunately, like you mentioned about the players, they don't have a Griezmann. If Juventus had some high-octane
Right.
offensive players, they
Let-
would have probably handled it easier.
Let's talk about the game just
Sure.
for Tony, right?
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
on
yeah.
there. He's on there. So Vincenzo, the game, if it would have stayed tied 3-0, they go to overtime, right?
Correct. They were.
So Buffon didn't do his team any favors by getting thrown out.
Exactly.
Okay, he acted. I've never seen him act the way he did at the end there.
Sure.
So he didn't do anybody any favors. Gets thrown out of the game. If the backup comes in and makes a save, he's out.
Exactly.
He's out of the game now.
Yeah.
So he hurt the team just as much as the referee did.
Sure.
If it was a bad call.
Sure.
Well, Johnny, also, if you saw the game, Real Madrid, towards the end, they had a ball possession.
Yeah.
They were controlling the play. You could see, you notice, they were getting tired.
Yeah.
So in extra time, if I had 2 pennies, I would put 2 of them on Real Madrid.
Right. Yeah. They would. Yeah. So again, Juventus didn't have the players this year to compete in the Champions League.
Yeah,
That's it.
they've
That's
been
the bottom
trying. They've been close.
Yeah.
They've
come close, but
Yeah.
not,
We'll see.
can't
It's
get
been
over the top.
1996, too long for Juventus. We'll see
Yeah.
what they can do next year.
Yeah. So
Well, remember, it's not easy to reach the semifinals.
It's not easy, you're right. But it's been too much of a drought for the Italian teams. Look at the Champions League final and the Europa League. No Italian team is going to be in there. That's pretty, that's a shame, man.
Vincenzo, it's not easy. On the other hand, Juventus made it look easy because they've been there the last 3-4 years.
Yeah, they were there a couple
They
times.
made it look easy because they had the players to go so far, but couldn't get over the top.
Look at Roma. They almost got there. They were closer than Juventus.
Roma's a different story. But
They were almost there this year.
If I was a kid, if I was a coach, even better,
yeah,
I'd make sure all my kids, they're watching Roma Liverpool.
yeah.
You learn a lot by watching those games, and you could see the passion, the emotion, the tempos going. If they give more or less another 5 minutes,
Yeah.
Roma would qualify.
Yeah, but
It
the
was
problem
close.
with Roma, for me, the problem with Roma was they gave up too many goals in the
Exactly.
first leg.
Yeah.
You can't give up 5 goals in a game.
Even though they said there was 2 controversial handballs. they said.
Again,
Yeah.
you got to go. You don't have the video, so
I know.
they should stop complaining about the video. It's not there. They got the Champions final to play, right, in a couple of weeks.
Exactly.
There's no video for that game. So you got to live with the referee's calls, and that's it.
You know, Johnny, I mentioned before, you have 2 linesmen, 2 goalie or corner kick linesmen.
Goal line,
You got 4.
Yeah.
I mean, they have to have eye contact or some kind of sign language. Yes, it's a foul, or yes, it's a red card. Because if you count on the referee alone,
Yeah.
especially those delicate moments where the game could go either way. You need so the VAR. We know the VAR is going to be out.
Yeah.
You know, they rely on you. Get the linesmen involved more.
Well, Vincenzo, I don't know. We don't know what they said before the game. The referees get together, and maybe the middle referee says to them, "Listen, let me make the calls. Just if you see anything, you call me over." We don't know what the game plan is for the officials. So.
Also, Johnny, you notice, especially the corner refs.
Yes, the goal line.
You got the moon and the corner kick.
Yeah.
Me as a referee, I want to see the ball right on the line.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have 4 inches over the line.
Yeah. Well, that shouldn't be allowed. Yeah.
You got the linesman right there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So what are you doing over
Yeah,
there?
exactly. Good point.
Fix the ball, and you tell the player, move the ball back 3 inches.
You can't
Because
blame the
1
player.
inch, 2 inches, there'll be a difference in goal.
Can't blame the player for that. That's why you have the official there, because the player's looking for the advantage.
That's what I'm saying. Why the linesmen don't get involved?
Yeah. All right. That's.
The referee cannot be from the middle of the
The field. Yeah.
of the
Field.
penalty area to see with the ball. So the line, the corner linesman or the linesman, you go there with the flag. You move the ball.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to win the Champions League final, Vincenzo? Real Madrid or Liverpool?
No, Liverpool is a tough team. That's a 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
But because of Liverpool, the English style of soccer, if they cover Ronaldo, you talk about cover, but Ronaldo has to smell the breath of the defender, right? In case he dribbles the defender, second guy, two guys.
Two of the best players in the world. You're going to have Mohamed Salah and Cristiano Ronaldo going head to head.
Yeah.
Two of the elite, which is going to be
I
nice.
don't think Liverpool's defense is strong enough.
And you got Real Madrid has a great goalie, Navas. Navas is very good.
I'm picking Real Madrid. So.
Well,
They're the favorite.
The Real Madrid, only if Ronaldo gets loose. But if you stop Ronaldo, I think the game could go either way.
Yeah, I don't think they can. I don't think they can.
And they got Benzema.
They could score.
They got Benzema. They got Isco.
Yeah, we might see a shootout. Might be a high scoring. I'm predicting a high scoring final.
Should be an exciting game.
Should be a lot of goals.
Both, they show they're both top teams.
And you know what? If they do score goals, both teams, maybe like a 4-3, 3-2, it'd be better. Keep the fans in it. The American fans.
But John, remember, tell your players homework assignment.
Yeah.
Watch the game and report the score, the scorekeeper, the goalkeeper.
Yes. Of
You
course.
know, John, today I heard on Italian news there is a goalie from Spain, 70 years old, my age.
Wow.
He played goalie in the C division, third division.
All right.
All right,
Okay.
imagine that.
You know what? Good for him. Good for
The
him.
goalie you could play until 100, Johnny.
70 years old. You're right. As long as you got a good defense.
That's all.
That's right.
That's all that matters, pretty much.
Good
What,
for him.
what about Vincenzo? Who's going to win the Europa League final? Olympic Marseille versus Atletico Madrid.
I like Atletico Madrid.
Yeah.
Atletico Madrid. Even Diego Simeone.
They're in
Yeah.
second
You're talking
place.
about
Yeah, he used to be a player, yeah.
Inter midfield.
He was a very good player.
That guy, he left nothing on the field.
Mhm.
He gave out 200%.
Yeah.
And
They-
his son is playing with Fiorentina.
They got some good players. Atletico Madrid has got Korea, who's got the same last name as Felix, who calls in. They got the same exact name, but
Yeah,
this
speaking of
Korea's with Argentina. They got some interesting players. They got Gabi, they got Godin, Diego Costa, Griezmann. Atletico Madrid is interesting. Then you look at Marseille. They have Payet, Gustavo. I give the edge to Atletico Madrid.
Of course,
but
yeah.
we'll see.
Absolutely. I think they're second in their league
Yeah.
too, right?
Yeah, it's been
They're having a good season.
it's been domination lately between the Spanish teams.
Okay, Vincenzo, we
These
got another
tournaments.
caller coming in.
Okay, Johnny, so
Thank
good
you.
luck to you guys.
Thank you very much for
Grazie.
calling in.
Buonasera.
Vincenzo,
I'll let you know about the May 21st.
Yes.
This we can get together, then I call you
Yes.
and see what we can do.
May 21st, we'll have a new coach. Italy, by then, we'll know who the next coach is.
Hey,
Vincenzo, you can watch us on Facebook.
Whatever was the best, you say Angelotti. Let's go with Angelotti.
I hope so.
Yeah, why not?
Look at
Okay.
comment from.
Yeah, Vincenzo, watch us on
Ciao,
Facebook.
Ciao. Buonasera.
Ciao.
Thanks for breaking down the
No
good point
problem.
at Liverpool.
Yes, no problem, Tony. I definitely think their defense is weak to Liverpool, but they could score goals.
No, that's for
Definitely-
sure.
Definitely they could score. So I'm predicting maybe like a high-scoring game, which is it's fun for everybody. Maybe not the teams,
Yeah.
but it's fun for us watching, right?
It's very possible of a Spanish sweep on the Europa League and the Champions League. They've been dominating for too long.
Yeah, I mean they're good. I mean they'll deserve it if they get it. So
Very possible it may
so
happen.
let's finish up with Body.
Okay.
All right, and I know we got
Well,
Felix
Body,
going.
they're in 6th place, and they got to meet Parma, who they're catching. So the only way to surpass Parma is they have to beat them in Parma. And then they're rounding the season against
Parma,
Carpi.
they just
Carpi,
lost.
yeah, Carpi's got 51 points. Regardless if they lost, it's do or die. Pretty much if Body wants to, they got to make the push now. There's no excuses.
Well, they're 2 points behind Parma.
Yeah, they beat them, and then
they
they
were ahead of
surpassed them. That's all.
With one game left.
And then they got to play Carpi, who's got 51 points right now.
Yeah.
So anything could happen.
There's no game is a given.
Yeah. Well, if Bari wants to get away from Lecce, they have to get to Serie A because Lecce just got promoted to Serie B. They won the Serie C, so they're officially in. So now we can see Lecce Bari Foggia next year unless Bari somehow gets through, and we'll see.
Well, with some other help, they could finish third. That's the most that they could do.
Yeah.
And that would give them a first round
Exactly.
bye.
Correct.
I mean, that would be the best thing that ever
Yeah.
happened to that team.
Yeah.
It really would.
Who knows?
You know,
Anything is
The
possible. in
fans
soccer.
will lay off a little bit. If they make a nice little run in the playoffs in Serie B,
Yeah.
and maybe next year, like try to just win it,
Of
win
course.
the table,
Well, we'll see what happens. Foggia's still not out of it. 54 points with 2 games left. Perugia, their catching, has got 59.
Well, they're 5 points behind.
Yeah,
with-
but mathematically they're
they're
still
on a rest. They're hanging.
Yeah.
They're hanging. So yeah, I mean, just same thing with Napoli and Juve.
Yeah. And basically, Bari, they still, mathematically can catch the second place team. That's if Frosinone loses the last 2 games. They got to hope that these teams above them somehow crash.
But they're going to lose the.
Yeah. Anything can happen.
Palermo hasn't played well lately, so.
Bari's just got to worry about themselves, win these
That's
last
it.
2 games, and that's all.
And
you
then
can,
let the chips fall
That's
where they
all.
may.
That's all.
Yeah, that's it. So that's basically.
And then on the bottom, you talk about Pro Vercelli, 37 points. Ternana, 37 points.
Yeah.
Verta Centella, 41. And Ascoli's got 42. And Novara, 43. So these are teams, even Cremonese at 44. They're hanging on to see who's going to go to, the lower division of C.
Yeah.
So
who's going to get
that's
demoted.
pretty much Serie B situation. But as far as Serie A, John, in Serie A, we got Benevento's officially back in B. They
Yep.
cannot catch, with 18 points, they can't catch the third last. Cagliari's too far ahead, but Cagliari is still fighting with Udinese, Crotone, Chievo, even Spal. They're still fighting it out, And even Bologna's not safe at 39 points.
No.
You
I
know,
see that. Yep.
Sassuolo officially got saved by beating Sampdoria 1-0. They officially got saved, but there's a fight from, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 teams fighting.
Yeah, 18 to 20 get relegated.
Yeah.
Right? Position number 6,
Yeah,
Europa League.
yeah,
Qualifying.
correct.
All right, position 5, you're in.
Yeah,
1 to 4, Champions League.
yeah, pretty much. We'll see. Milan. If they win the Coppa Italia, they go in direct. I heard they go into the Europa
that
League.
last
We'll see.
spot for the Champions League?
It's up for grabs. I mean,
who's going to get it? Lazio or
yeah,
Inter?
yeah. It's too close. It's only 2-point separation, so
Yeah.
anything could happen. But the important thing with the Champions League, you go 1-2, you go direct. That's really the important thing. And they already have that wrapped up. Juventus and Napoli already have that wrapped up going direct, you know.
Yeah, Napoli didn't do anything in the Champions League either.
Yeah, they didn't.
They folded.
Roma now, they're positioning if they can hold on to third, because them and Lazio, they're very close. Third and fourth is a separation of 2 points.
And Inter,
Yeah, so.
All right, so we got a nice, we still got races here too.
Oh, that's
right
for
to
sure.
The end.
That's for sure.
Right to the end.
Now, when we talk about the Coppa Italia final, John, you got, you look at
That's
Juventus.
this Wednesday.
Look at Juventus's roster: Buffon. Then you got Di Scilio, Chiellini, Benatia, Sami Khedira, Quadrado, Marchisio, Higuain, Dybala, Douglas Costa, Alexandro, Matuidi, Barzagli.
Matuidi?
Yeah, the Frenchman.
Okay.
Then Mario Marzanovic, the Croatian player. Then you got Bernard Houds, the German defender, Asamoah from Ghana. The backup to Buffon is Polish, Szczecki. He'll probably be the star in the World Cup, definitely. Then you got the Swiss international, Lex Steiner.
He's going to take over Juve, so.
Stefano Sturaro, and Bernardeschi, and Bernard Cotor from Uruguay. That's Juventus' team going up against Milan, who's got Davide Calabria, Jose Mari, Bonaventura, Kalinic, Suso.
Who's in goal?
Donnarumma. You know, there's 2 Donnarummas, Antonio and Gianluigi. Gianluigi's...
Any relation?
Maybe.
Okay.
Gianluigi is the starter.
Yes.
You got... then they got the Turkish player, Hakan Kalanglu, Fabio Borini, who scored last week, Andrea Condi, Romagnoli, Gustavo Gomez, Zapata, Montolivo, Bonucci, Abate, who scored, Lucas Biglia, Matteo Mosaccio, Sturari, Antonelli, Gabbia, Patrick Utrone, Rodrigo Rodriguez, Locatelli, and Kessi. So these are, I think I heard the phone ringing.
Yes.
So, on paper, Juventus has got the edge, but you never know what can happen. But Juventus, it's bittersweet. They just want to win the Coppa Italia to make up for the Champions League.
Well, they're going to win the 2 out of the 3.
Yeah.
But we all know it's the Champions League that they want.
I think Brian's got a call. Go ahead, Brian.
Caller, you're on the Staten Island Soccer Report.
Hey, hello, how are you, Vito?
Hey, Felix, how are you? We just brought up your name, your last name. Atletico Madrid has got the Argentine national player, Correa, who plays for Atletico Madrid, and they're in the final. At least he's got something to play for. When he was in Sampdoria, they didn't really, have nothing to play for, but they're in the final, and that's a big game for the Europa League final against Olympique Marseille.
That's going to be fun to watch, but what about the Clásico? The Clásico was the big deal in Europe this weekend, I believe.
Oh, you're talking about the Spanish League?
Real Madrid and Barcelona.
Yeah, Madrid, Barcelona.
League,
yeah,
Real Madrid, Barcelona.
That's always a big rivalry. It's been that way for a long time.
But I don't know. I kind of thought it lost a little bit of air. I mean, because the players are just getting older now.
Well,
the
fans go crazy.
It's still fun to see Messi score goals. He was able to score the second goal.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No, it definitely is. I mean, what's surprising is that Barcelona didn't get as far as Madrid. In the past, they were there,
Yeah. Well, that's could be another reason why, because of age. Playing so many games. These teams play so many games.
That's true. And Felix, let's talk about the rumor mill. Griezmann, possibility that Real Madrid will consider moving Griezmann if they can secure Mohamed Salah this summer. So Salah's top objective, they would not hesitate to pay him 200 million euros to Liverpool if they, that's going to be interesting. Griezmann has been heavily linked with Barcelona.
That will be a great move, but something that it still amazes me is how come they, Roma won that last game 4-2.
Correct.
And even if they won, I mean the aggregate is something else because I mean they win the game and they still didn't qualify.
What
for
a
the
big
final.
aggregate that was. You thought it was a hockey game, the score, the final aggregate.
Yeah.
No, it's interesting, but that goes to show in the offseason, Roma, if they want to get back there, they have to make a couple of adjustments in defense.
Gotta tighten up. Yeah, you got to tighten it up.
That's what they're going to learn from that.
That's what you got to do. You can't give up 5 goals in a game and think you're going to get through.
That's true. And also, Felix, Napoli's talking about replacing their coach with Fonseca. What do you think about that? Fonseca possibly to be their next coach.
Well, it will probably be the coach, but it's always about the money. I think the more money a team has, the better players they can get. You know, like you were saying, you know, Salah, you know, playing for, you know, for a team, you know, that guy is not going to be cheap. He's going to be, you know, a few, you know, 100,000, you know. So, like, you know, a guy like that, you know, the team has to have the money.
And look at Manchester United. They're trying to go after Mertens, who scored 45 goals the past 2 years in Serie A. And they're trying to, you know, get him in the offseason.
You need players. It comes down to players, you know.
It comes down to the mighty dollar.
Listen, you need players.
It's all about the money. I think it's all about the money.
Show them the money, Vito. Show them, you know, the money.
Bundesliga, they got some of the best players.
The money took a little hit.
Scores.
It looks like
Lewandowski. You know, Lewandowski is a guy who can still score. He's got a big black and blue in the eye, but you know what? He doesn't care. He goes out there and he scores.
It's all about the money.
And they're talking about Balotelli. No chance of an AC Milan return, but it's possible he may come to Serie A. So it'd be interesting who could pick him up.
Felix, we're just showing.
Yeah, it's always interesting. You know, I think it's perfect the fact that Buffon was able to play this last weekend, and you know, Juventus won 3-1. Last goal was scored by the Argentinian, the guy Dybala.
That's true.
Dybala.
Yeah, so that was great.
He's a fantastic player.
It's official. Oh, definitely. It's official. Felix Fabio Capello has retired from coaching, so he's not going to be no longer a candidate. So Italy, they're down to 3 guys. Carlo Ancelotti, Roberto Mancini, or Claudio Ranieri. Claudio Ranieri is coaching in France. Mancini's coaching in Russia. Carlo Ancelotti is the only one that doesn't have a position. And even though the media, one day they say he might be the next coach, one day they say he wants to coach at the club level, to be honest, the perfect choice is Carlo Ancelotti because he's someone that's got a bigger resume than both of them. Not taking anything away from Roberto Mancini or Ranieri. Because Claudio Ranieri did win the you know, in the Premiership he won with Leicester City, which wasn't easy. But you look at Ancelotti, what he did on the Champions League level, and those 2 coaches have yet to do that. Claudio Ranieri did coach Greece internationally, but I mean, if you got someone like Carlo Ancelotti who's got such a great soccer mind and he's been such a winner, I think right now they have to lock him down, and hopefully. Next show we do, May 21st, Carlo Ancelotti is the new coach of the Azzurri.
Yeah, let's hope. Let's hope and see. Again, they need to call up some good young players also.
That's for sure.
You can have the top coach, but you need to have players also.
Oh, you do. It comes down to that. I mean, Ancelotti, he's someone that he's going to want full control, and I think they'll give it to him. And he's someone that won't fail. I'll tell you, he won't. He's always been successful.
So what do you think about that guy Antonucci, the 19-year-old player, you know, that they just put on the second time for, Roma?
You're talking about which Antonucci? Not the one from Spal. Not the one from Spal.
No, not the one from Spal. The other one, the 19-year-old that was, you know, part of the, you know, the team. You know, he's like 19 years old.
Well, there's a lot of good talent. Italy's got a lot of good talent. It's just they have to stop looking the other way and just basically give them the chance. They have so much. So hopefully they can recreate history with Carlo Ancelotti. And John just gave me an article. Toronto.
Hold on. No, we're gonna
MLS.
We're gonna switch gears. The last 10 minutes.
You want multiple?
We'll talk about MLS.
Go ahead.
A little bit. You know, I got the first top 4. There's a power rankings that came out today from the MLS. So I got the top 4, and then you can continue on here with the. Actually, I got the top 10. You go the next.
Well, 10. It's nice to see Jovinko score this week for Toronto.
Well, let's start off at the top. I mean, you know what? Let's start off with the bottom. Work our way up. How about that? We'll do it that way. Number 23, DC United.
Okay.
No change in the power rankings.
Okay.
They're dead last. All right. Just like nothing. They don't have anything going on. Rebuilding stage maybe for them.
Okay.
All right. Colorado.
Wow, I remember when DC had those great teams with Bruce Arena.
Of course, in the beginning, right? In the 20 years ago, probably.
Yeah.
15, 20 years ago. Felix, what's your take on the MLS and DC United, Colorado, these teams in the West, San Jose? We don't see much of them, but.
Yeah, I think you know, some of these guys are fun to watch. The MLS is still growing as a league, and I think they got a lot to go. But you know, as long as the team got the opportunity to get some great players, people will watch them.
Yeah, again, you're right. They're still growing, and they still need to attract some more big name players.
That's for sure.
You know, and not only in L.A. and New York, the small market teams like maybe Montreal or San Jose, Orlando. Well, they had Kaká; he retired.
There was a nice image of Carlo Ancelotti at a Vancouver game, which was pretty cool a few years back.
Yeah. So, you know, the bottom of the power rankings had Montreal, but they moved up 2 places. They're +2 this week. Houston moving up, +2. Portland, like a team like Portland, they have a fan base. Did you ever see a game? I was watching New York City play Portland a couple weeks ago. Packed house.
Portland has always got they're a good sports town. They have the Portland Trail Blazers in basketball. They're very big into sports.
California's got 2. LA's got 2 teams now, right? So, yeah,
well,
they still need to attract big
of course,
names.
and they will, John. It's a matter of time. We're gonna see Messi and Ronaldo. It's a matter of time. They're gonna come. They'll probably be the 2 best players that MLS will ever see.
What's your take on Toronto? I know you're a Jovinko fan.
Of course. I mean, with Jovinko, he's there. You know, they live and die with Jovinko pretty much. He's their superstar. So.
Well, they have. Don't forget, they have I call them the 3-headed monster. Jovinko. They got Bradley and Altidore.
I think you're going back to Dante Ugolino, the monster with 3 heads.
That was a 3-headed monster.
The fairy tale of. The Dante Alighieri, there was Ugolino, the 3-headed monster.
So last year, Toronto won the MLS Cup, but this year they lost in the finals to the Champions League that they play. So,
well, they were always the great thing about MLS. They always brought good Italian players. They had Marco Di Vaio a few years ago. Remember?
Yes. And Toronto, you know,
Roberto Donadon.
Toronto's a good market. They're a big market.
Well, MLS is going to be glued to the World Cup because they're going to be recruiting, as the other leagues will be recruiting. They're going to be looking to see who they can get.
Let's ask Felix this question.
Felix, who do you want to come to MLS? Which superstar?
Oh boy, I mean, I think it would be great. Somebody like from the new generation, guys from Roma, maybe that guy Sharawi. That guy, he's fast. He's young.
Yeah.
He knows the game okay. He can run.
He scored a beautiful goal. A no-look heel goal was incredible. Back heel was incredible how he scored that goal. That was one of the best goals.
Felix, what's your take on the MLS playing during the World Cup?
I mean, would you to see guys like MLS? They got young guys, and I think teams are a little very competitive. It's New York and LA. Yeah, but LA, they got. Don't forget now the guy Ibrahimovic.
Yeah.
He's a good player. He can score. He's got a lot of experience. He's played all over, and he's a family man. He's got 2 kids, 3 kids, something. And he wants them around. You see, when he goes to these big games, he brings his kids. He's not ashamed.
I tell you, there's going to be a lot of clubs, a lot of recruiters, not only looking at the big countries, but you're going to be looking at teams from Africa and Asia. MLS is probably going to see, depending on the price, that's who's going to become an MLS. They're going to see, but there's a lot of interesting players that get discovered that we don't know about that they poured on in the World Cup. So that's going to be a good recruiting for them, definitely.
See, the problem I have is these teams are going to lose their best players for a month, a little over a month, depending on how far the national team. That's going to hurt the MLS.
Yeah.
Why would you want to go see your team and your best player not be there, or 2 best players? That's the problem that I have with the MLS when World Cup comes around.
Yeah, you can't do anything about it. But what about John and Felix? Japan and Qatar to dispute the 2019 Copa America. No North American squads because of the scheduling with the too close to the Gold Cup. They, U.S. and Mexico declined because they didn't want any, they didn't want any problems with the conflict that existed. So that's going to be interesting, and that Copa America is going to be in Brazil.
Okay.
In 2019, so that's going to be pretty cool.
Well, the U.S. is not winning that one, so.
Well, they're not in it.
Yeah. So don't even bother. They have no chance winning anything in Brazil.
Yeah. But it's interesting how the sport is definitely evolving and growing. I mean, it's just great how you got all the markets that are being discovered.
We just had a derby this weekend, right?
Yeah, the Red Bulls and
you're wearing a red shirt tonight. I'm
Yeah.
wearing a blue. So, Felix, did you see that game? The Red Bulls and New York City FC.
They have a chance, but who do you think should be on the offense for for the United States for that tournament coming up?
Oh, who should be on the team? Who should be on the team?
Who should be on the offense?
Well,
on the offense.
They need to just bring up the young players.
Well, that's what they were doing with George Weah's son.
Yep. To be honest with you, I really don't even know any of the young guys on the under 20 team maybe, because those are the guys that deserve a chance to make the national team.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go away from these Altadors and Bradley and all these other guys.
It's starting to change because they're getting up in age now.
Yep. Yep. Unfortunately, and also Tim Howard. All these old guys they got to go now. That's it.
It's a rebuilding stage.
Yep. Well,
everybody has to rebuild the team.
I'm reading here a little article on New York City FC. It looks like Patrick Vieira ripped his team after the Red Bulls game on Saturday when they lost 4-0, saying that he would have changed all 10 players at halftime if he could have.
Wow.
That's how bad they did. Well, they conceded a goal within the first minute, and then another one, I believe, 3-4 minutes later. So it doesn't look like the team was ready to play, and that arena in New Jersey, Harrison, was rocking. I mean, rocking on Saturday afternoon, really. So New York City was not ready to play, and the team ripped into them, which he was right to do. Let's see what happens this weekend.
Oh, for sure.
How they perform. They lost 2 out of their last 3. New York City FC.
And as we get to the May 21st show, we'll be getting closer to we'll get the playoffs coming around, and we should see the rosters. Some teams are going to start to release their rosters for the World Cup early on. So
in a couple of weeks we'll be on live on Staten Island, so we'll be able to talk more about the big one, which is the World Cup. The World Cup previews and whoever's going to coach Italy, stuff like that. So
coaching changes, vacancies and things like that. For sure.
Yeah, so MLS basically still early on. Atlanta is number 1. Unbelievable. Atlanta. Who would have thought? The power rankings, they have Atlanta as being the best team in that league. Okay. All right. I mean, there's still plenty of time to go. So Toronto, I really wouldn't sleep on Toronto only because the last 2 finals, they won 1 final and they lost 1. So the last 2 years made it to the MLS Cup final.
I could see, John, some more English players coming to the MLS, like Beckham and Steven Gerrard.
Yep.
There's possibility, if there's some other veterans.
That's
what
fine.
About Rooney? Surprisingly, Wayne Rooney,
Yeah.
Who's...
I'd like to see them go to the small market teams too. Let's make it fair.
But Wayne Rooney would be good because he lost his place with Manchester when he was playing. He was always a starter. So they're kind of like, then he went down to another team that wasn't as strong as them. You know what? Good. Wayne Rooney is someone that, if you're a recruiter for the MLS, that's someone that you should be targeting.
Yeah. But keep in mind, some of these guys they don't want to leave their country.
When you get up in age,
right, Felix? What do you think?
I think it's right. I think for a player it doesn't make sense. You've been playing for a team like Roma. You are Totti, right?
Totti,
so you are a player, been playing for them forever. You started with Roma.
25
you were like 60 years old, and then you go up in age, and time goes by, and you get so used to your country. Why would you leave?
Yeah,
it just doesn't make sense.
There's certain players like him and Del Piero. There are only few of them. Paulo Maldini, that they always were loyal to their team. But I think there's no question that there's no shortage of players that they can't bring here.
No, they can.
There's a lot of players that they can bring.
You got them on both sides.
There's really no excuses for MLS to not get some good top talent because they're out there, and they make the right offer. I'm sure that they'll improve the game, and a lot of these players like Kaká are pushing some other players to come to follow them.
A guy like Totti.
I think it would be interesting. It would be interesting to watch Griezmann leave Atletico Madrid because he is the guy that everybody wants to see on Sunday.
Of course.
He's like the big icon for that team. Atletico Madrid is gonna miss him if he leaves.
When John was waving the money talks. As they say,
It's all about the money, and we're waving the money here right now, live. And of course, we all know it's about the money. But if you ask me, I would play for any top team for free. Mm-hmm. I would even coach it. It's for the love of the game.
Felix, before you called in, I mentioned if John ever wrote a book, I said me and Vincenzo would probably buy it to be a bestseller. What do you think about it? Would you ever purchase a book if John wrote an autobiography about his life?
About my life, it'd probably be boring. But about goalkeeper, because that's my passion, being a keeper, yeah, that's a different story. Yeah, no problem.
Oh, right.
But,
And Felix, I just want to mention, Lecce got promoted to Serie B, so they're back in Serie B. And then there's still some deciders on who else is coming to Serie B, who's going to Serie A. So everything going going in every direction pretty much. The leagues right now. So
how's the body of yours, Vito? How's the body?
Well, 2 games left. They got Parma on the road coming up and Carpi. 2 games that, if you ask me, they have to win them. And for positioning, if they can, the higher they go, the better they can, perhaps get a bye. So we'll see. Anything's possible. There's still, some soccer left.
Yeah, they're in the playoffs, and that's what they wanted to do, at least qualify for the playoffs.
Yeah, it's been too long. I mean, they haven't been to Serie A 7-8 years. It's too long.
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to actually get through to Serie A because it is a tough playoff format that they have there. So, and they got to probably if they don't move up the table, they're going to be on the road.
Yeah,
so
we'll see. We'll see. They've tried a couple of times in the playoffs and they were unsuccessful. We'll see if they could pull through this time.
Yep. Felix, what's the word with your country there, Ecuador?
Yeah, Ecuador, we got Caicedo. Caicedo is a great player. We got the guy there playing for Manchester United, Antonio
Valencia.
Valencia, that's the guy, Valencia. He's a brother. There are 2 brothers. The other brother is Valencia too, and some good players. They are learning. Yeah. It's a learning experience. Ecuador is a very poor country, so for them. For a player like that, it's all about learning how to spend the money, invest the money, and find ways to make their lives a little more civilized. I'm not saying like Cristiano Ronaldo spending $5.8 billion or $1 million on cars.
Yeah.
But they gotta find some kind of
we call him
a hobby.
Yeah.
But something to do with their money.
We call him the pretty boy. Yeah, but you know what? Ecuador, do they have any games scheduled, friendlies?
Oh, that's interesting.
Because teams now that are in the World Cup, they're looking for games to, prepare for the World Cup.
That's a good point.
Do they have anything scheduled?
No, Ecuador is not going to the World Cup. They're probably going to have some games, whatever. I think they're playing some teams from Europe, but it's all about, like you said, it's all about the money. So, for them.
Speaking of Ecuador,
it doesn't really.
They had a player in MLS. I don't remember the inaugural year. They had Hurtado.
Right.
Hurtado was in MLS.
They got players. Yeah. So listen, it's okay if you're out of the World Cup, as we know, the United States and Italy are out.
Yeah.
But you could set up. Well, they could set friendly games up.
Maybe Italy could do a friendly with Ecuador, United States. Who knows?
Yeah. Let's get all these teams that didn't qualify and have a tournament for them.
Yeah, there's going to be a mini tournament. They were talking about the United States. A few teams that didn't make it: Italy, Holland, Ghana, United States. They were talking about doing some kind of small tournament. We'll have to see if they're going to prove that. But now, well, you know what? When the new coach of Italy is named, the first thing is going to be have to try to gather some games.
Well,
they have a few games lined up. They have Saudi Arabia May 28th, and they got France and Holland in June. Yeah. But there'll be some more games also. They're going to be playing the United States and Ukraine. That's going to be October, November.
They're in the same boat as the U.S.
Yeah.
Start
with young players. Let's hope that it's Carlo Ancelotti because Italy has not had a great coach since Marcello Lippi. Since him and Trapattoni, pretty much. It's been a long time. And, Carlo Ancelotti was also coached by Vicini, who passed away recently in 1990 when the World Cup was in Italy. Vicini was the coach of Ancelotti. So Ancelotti played under great coaches, and he became a great coach. Right. So I mean, you got a masterful coach in
Well,
Ancelotti.
that's how it
All
works
of
out,
Italy
yeah.
overwhelmingly wants him to be the coach because they
Yeah.
know how gifted he is.
Yeah.
They know what he can bring to the table.
Yeah, yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens with the Italian squad. I mean, they're the ones between the U.S. and Italy that has to get it right quickly because
Of
they got a
course.
European.
What happened, John, is like the United States not qualifying for the Olympics in basketball. That's pretty much the same for Italy not making the World Cup. That's a fair comparison.
Right, because it's our game. Basketball is our game.
So that's a fair comparison. Even though basketball, a lot of countries are catching up. Everything, the world is evolving. Everybody is catching everybody.
Yeah.
There's no more major dominance anymore.
But
You
I
know?
think in the Italian case, as far as soccer goes, they just didn't put the right players on the field.
Of course, the combination. There was too much. There was too much turmoil.
Yeah.
As you saw, there's no Italian team in the final of the Europa League and the Champions League,
Yep.
and it wasn't. You can't just blame one thing. It was a combination of things that
Yep.
sunk them in.
Yeah.
And that's what's been suffering for a while with the Italian soccer. I mean, 12 years in the decline.
Let's
after
get
they
this
won.
thing on the right track and go.
That's
You know,
right.
That's
Well,
it.
Serie A is not gonna go away. Serie A has always been a big deal.
Oh yeah.
And those guys they play every weekend. And it's how many jornadas they got? It's like
That's true. 38 games.
38
38 games, and I tell you, they should expand. And they should expand.
Whenever you put an Italian channel, you're gonna watch.
That's
Italian
true.
games.
And they're coming here. Juventus, Benfica. You got Roma coming.
Serie B plays 42 games.
Yeah. You got the International Champions Cup.
Yeah.
You got Juventus coming. You got Roma. Maybe Milan's coming.
Listen, you got to have a good squad because don't forget they only get basically 1 month off during the year,
Of course.
which is June.
Yeah.
July they're already playing these friendlies.
And I tell you, John, if it was up to me, expand the Serie A from 20 teams. Go to 22
Right.
because it is followed a lot. So eventually, it's possible they may expand it.
Let's call a spade because Serie A is probably the lowest out of the teams in Europe.
And it used
In
to be
Europe.
the best when
It used to
Juventus
be,
won the
right.
Champions League in '96.
Right.
It was at its high time when Milan won the Champions League in the '90s.
The Premier League
There was
is
a lot
probably
going
up
on.
there. They show those Premier League games here in this country every weekend.
Yeah, that's true.
All day long on Saturday and Sunday. So,
Well, it's about the money, When
Yeah.
these teams
Yeah.
they have the opportunity to sell a player,
Yeah.
and if it's a national, even better.
Right.
Like Juventus, they always try to sell the players. And if they
All right,
have the
Felix.
opportunity, and once they have those windows, and boom,
Yeah.
they can make some money. That's where the player goes, and they usually end up in Premier League or
All right, Felix, we're about to wrap up the show. Thank you again for calling in. We'll talk to you soon.
All right, have a good night.
Thank
too.
you. Take care. Oh,
All right,
again. Felix the Great, we'll call him, right?
Felix the Cat.
Yeah, all right. So, again, another great show. We got about a minute before we actually end it all together. Any last words?
Let's hope that Ancelotti's the next coach of Italy when we do the show.
And for me,
And
Mo,
Body. Let's hope Body,
As always.
keeps the winning streak going.
Forza Body Sempre. That's how I always end up. All right, we'll see you guys 2 weeks from today live in Studio A. Have a good night.
Quanti viaggi con gli amici, tanti posti sconosciuti, tutti uniti innamorati di un sogno. Canto sempre con orgoglio, anche quando sono stanco, mai nessuno può distruggere il mio sogno. Bari, grande amore, Bari unica e sola, Bari